Hi, I'm Q.
And it's Khadija with thisisrnb.com. And we're so excited for our next guest. If you were around in the 90s, you could not turn on the radio without hearing from this soulful group, Soul For Real. What's up, guys?
Yo. What's going on? How y'all doing?
We're great. We're so excited to have you guys. And let's just jump right into it. The group's name. You were first named The Fizz. How did that come about? And, when and why did you guys change it to the name we know today?
Well, Da Fizz was a little bit complex, and it's something that we always had to explain. And that's one of the main reasons why, upon meeting us, like Heavy D and his whole crew just felt like, we needed a name less self-explanatory, something that just kind of said exactly who we were. So we all came up with the name Soul For Real, and here we are still to this day.
Yeah.
Great choice, for sure.
Right. That's funny. That's why it's funny when we look back, we're always like, oh my God, like
very cringy.
Thank God have the crew.
Yes, definitely.
All right, so you guys mentioned Heavy D. He was the one to take you guys to Uptown Records. Tell us what that was like working with Heavy D.
Oh man, it was to me, and I think I'm speaking for the guys as well. It was priceless because at the time, I mean, we were such big fans of Hev. You know what I mean? He had just recently put out the Blue Funk album, and we were rocking to that album real heavy. So it was just so surreal. You know what I mean? To actually be working with Heavy, it was like God really just put us on Heavy D's doorstep, literally. And it was like a dream come true. Like, I mean, just imagine listening to your favorite, artist, and then all of a sudden, literally within months, it's like you're at his doorstep, ready, giving him, it's like, it was a hell of a roller coaster ride. I can tell you that.
Yes, and having a featured on your single, I mean, it just took it to the next level for sure.
Definitely.
So, like you already said, you've been in the industry for such a long time. What is some advice, or what would you tell a younger artist what to look for in a mentor?
I guess it takes a good listener, like the cliche, it takes a good listener to be a good leader type thing. So, if someone's not paying you attention, the cliche saying, I think that says it all. Yeah. What about you, B? How would you answer that one?
Really just, picking, or I can't even really picking or choosing a mentor, or just allowing somebody to lead you like that. Like Jay said, you have to really be a great follower. I would just, in following or learning in the industry, and my advice, especially now because of the unlimited access of knowledge that we have for anything that we want to do, I would just advise any and everybody to just be as thorough as you possibly can with, your craft and your knowledge of the industry, because it is music business, and that's where you really want to be. You really want to just be sound in whatever business it is that you're tending to.
Right, and I would just add, just to self-educate. That's what I was gonna say.
That's right.
Same thing as my brother Brian just said. Just self-educate yourself about the business, whatever it is you do. You want to be top knowledge at it, and this way, you don't have to worry about anybody pulling anything fast or just walking on you in any type of way.
Great advice. So Candy Rain, that was a huge success, and it's still a banger now. I was talking to a kid yesterday. I promise you, I was talking to a kid yesterday, and I said, do you know the song Candy Rain? He starts singing the song. Kid had to be like 15 or 16. And I was shocked, but then again, I wasn't, because good music never gets old. So right. I was just saying, like, you guys are timeless, and everybody, I don't know if people got a chance to check out the Unsung. If they didn't, they need to go check it out. Right. But it just goes to show you that you guys were a force to reckon with. And you said something earlier about, you know, imagine seeing artists when you were coming up and you finally get a chance to work with them, like Heavy. And I grew up in the 90s. And to actually be talking to you guys now is like kind of, you know, surreal, you know?
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's
Definitely.
up. That's what's up.
Like I said in the intro, like, you know, for sure, like you could not turn on the radio without hearing one of your songs. And it was just like, and it didn't feel old. You know, sometimes you hear a song, I would say, even kind of nowadays where you hear something like, okay, enough. Like I had enough. I don't want any more. But then it was like, oh my gosh, you, my love. Okay, I really screwed myself with that. But you just were just constantly jamming and loving it and like trying to figure out all the dance moves and just like figuring, you know, putting your own twist on it. It was like, it was just such a time to be alive with such great R&B music from incredible artists like yourselves, for sure. Yeah, you know, so how does it feel after so many years that this song is still relevant and it still feels good to this day?
It's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing that for us to still be around. Yeah.
It really is. I mean, it just really goes, to me, it just goes to show that, you know, the magic that we were creating when we was in the studio with Hev, you know, and just all, you know, that whole learning experience in 94 when, you know, just going through everything that we were going through, because of course it was all brand new. It just really goes to show that it was actually magic, because, you know, you notice how you're fascinated by magic. It doesn't matter if a magic trick is a good magic trick 30 years ago, it's still going to be a good magic trick, you know what I mean, today. So that's really how, you know, the records that we did create in you know, with Hev and that, just that era, it goes to show, it validates how magical it was, because it's still standing the test of time right now.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't get old. It just still feels good. Feel good music.
So we have that feel good music from then, and we're loving your new single, well, your latest single, After the Rain. What was the motivation behind that song?
Well, the motivation I feel that we're projecting is really just showing everybody that you know, there's ups and downs in life. We're kind of just giving a little bit of an aspect of our version of ups and downs. We've had quite a hiatus where people haven't heard anything or haven't seen us musically in a long time, and we just wanted to show with this record that, you know, for one, we still do what we do. Secondly, that you know, life is just something that everybody should be able to relate to when it comes from the angle of what we're saying in the song. So everybody should just check that out. It's called After the Rain, and let
me chime in on that, Chalk.
Go ahead.
Just really for me, I want to let everybody know that it's really just our life story in 3.5 minutes. You know, like Chalk said, you know, we had ups and downs, but you know, when you listen to the record, and that's why it was very important that we all got a lead. You know what I mean? We all kind of, when you listen, everybody kind of, you know, is telling their side of the story. Like, you know, like Jay say, you know, when we were young and foolish, we made a lot of mistakes. You know, like anybody could relate to that. You know, naturally, when you even right now, you know, you might be in your 30s, but when you think back when you're 20s, you could come up with so many different mistakes that you've made. And, you know, you're looking forward to, you know, correcting the ones that you're going to make in the future. So it's our life story in 3.5 minutes.
Yes, definitely relatable, for sure. For sure. So Candy Rain was your biggest hit, hitting #1 on Billboard, and Every Little Thing I Do was also a huge success. Tell us what it was like coming up, you know, in that era. You talked about the magic, but like being amongst other great, you know, guy groups such as yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, it was, I mean, priceless. It honestly just, because you had such a diversity. You had, you know, of different artists out there, you know, opposed to now. I love what music has, you know, evolved to. I definitely feel like it can do, it can be, you know, greater and be more colorful. Back then, it was, you just had your flavor. It was like an ice cream store, the candy shop. You know what I mean? It wasn't just one or two flavors. You had too many flavors.
But they were all good flavors.
Right.
Wanted to go and taste every time. I mean, yes, it was.
Right.
Did you guys all get along with the other groups, or was it like beef, like today?
Yeah, no, it wasn't beef at all. Back in the days, we went from venue to venue. It was just as like everybody always spread love and showed appreciation for
I love that
contribution that we had to music. I can't remember, and I'm sure my brothers can't. Everybody we ever did venues with, and that list is pretty high. We've always gotten along and just rubbed shoulders very well with other artists.
That's awesome. That's when you could love and wasn't so much hate in the world.
Right.
Right.
And it was like you guys were, competing, but not really, it was like
friendly competition.
Room for all
friendly
of us.
competition.
Right. There's room for all of you to grow,
Right.
come up together and make money together, which is awesome. So what is like one of the craziest things that's happened on tour?
Crazy.
Let's see.
We had
So many crazy things. I could say this. Let me if I can, guys, because we gotta keep it so like PG.
Yes.
Yes.
So you remember, like, during that time, this is one of my craziest moments that I could think of. Is that you remember the time Christopher Wallace, which of course Biggie, the beef, the East Coast West Coast beef. We were in LA for quite some time, and they were in LA, and we always got looked at crazy because we were cannabis friendly back then, 420 friendly, and everyone was like, that's not basically cohesive with the image that we got going with you guys. It was the craziest thing.
Yeah.
But of course, that was how we lived. You know what I mean? And basically we were like what is the weed maps for Biggie. Anytime they needed their 420, we were the ones that were going and grabbing the bud for them. So, I mean, of course, Biggie didn't get to return the favor because he passed shortly, after that situation. But looking back, it was like, wow, we were actually the guys going and getting the bud for Biggie and C's, and
wow.
little Mafia, Junior Mafia.
Right. Little C's, he was the guy always knocking on the door.
Right.
on so many different venues.
Oh wow.
Yes, we love hearing these stories. It's like we interviewed 112, such another incredible group, and they had a story to share about Biggie when we asked them about like crazy things on tour and things that happened with him. So it's really funny to hear. Like you feel as a fan like the artists that that are around in your time, and you're like, oh my gosh, they belong to me, we know them. But then when you hear like people who actually knew him or like knew you guys, and to hear the different things that they have to say, it's really cool. It's really
so cool.
Awesome.
So I think I know the answer to this question, but what's the most requested song by fans? I think I know.
I think I know too.
Yeah, talk. What's
hands down, that would be Candy Rain. Yeah,
sure.
Right. Hands down.
Got that one right.
Definitely. Yeah.
Does it ever get old? Not old, but like, are you ever like, oh my gosh, please don't come over and start singing to me, even though I just did that earlier?
That's what they're gonna do.
At this point, like I think you guys could relate. It's about the appreciation right now.
Right.
Like to be able to be still standing after this amount of time with such a relevant mark in music it's awesome, and we take it as a blessing. That's it, really.
We appreciate it also by betting on it now. We make it fun. We bet on who's gonna do it first.
Yes. So who won? Because we did it over here.
We did it, and I was doing it in my head.
Jace won. I was like, man.
We're not gonna do it, and we totally did it.
Yeah.
So what's next for So For Real, and any other upcoming projects you guys are working on?
Go ahead. Well, I wanted to say, what's next for So For Real is what should have been always for So For Real, and that's we want the world to know that the closest thing that we want to be portrayed at is like we're the Wu-Tang Clans of R&B. Right now, Jace does have his solo career that we support. It's the reason why I use the analogy of Wu-Tang Clan is because it's like, I want you to take it off from here, Jace, but it's like, you had Wu-Tang Clan, and then you had Old Dirty Bastard, you had Method Man, and you had, RZA individually, but collectively you had Wu-Tang Clan. And it's the same thing with Soul For Real. You have Jace For Real, you have Chalk For Real, you have KD For Real, you have Bri For Real, but of course we concentrate solely right now on Soul For Real, but our first project from Soul For Real out the gate is, of course, Jace For Real. And he's been keeping us relevant, doing his thing here and there, for the past 6-7 years. Jay?
Yeah, man, I really couldn't expound any better than that. I appreciate the stage for that, but definitely keeping it, you summed it all the way up. Just keeping it Soul For Real at the moment. You know what I mean? But yeah, I like to say Voltron instead, because it's four of us, you know what I mean? They're powerful individually, but it's most powerful when we get together, you know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Right. And then of course, outside of the music, that's naturally, Soul For Real is we're gonna be Soul For Real, but outside of the music, we have, as you guys know, we have the restaurant, which right now we're because of the pandemic, we've concentrated more on catering. We do a lot of corporate catering. And outside of that, I know that the unsung story has definitely opened, the door for so many questions. I'm sure people want to know so much, which has now, just really solidified us giving y'all the Soul For Real story, which is, the movie that we have in the making. And
what?
Just everybody,
what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He touched on what I was gonna
stay tuned. I mean, you'd already know, everybody. I don't want to say save the best for last, but we feel like, we were the last of the Mohicans of the, the boy band era that people haven't heard or seen their story yet. So, our story is really, really deep. So I just want everybody to get ready. Buckle.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Definitely can't wait.
Not only that, we have the movie and just a few TV endeavors on deck that we're embarking on. So you guys can look out future reference for things of that nature. Like, we're embarking on the screen, on whether it be big screen, comedy stuff. We're just getting into it.
Okay, we're looking forward to seeing more of you guys. For real.
Tell people how they can stay in contact with you.
Of course, our social media is Soul For Real. That of course, Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter. So right now, Soul For Real, we're meshing and getting acclimated to, the way that things work with the new industry. So, just go on any platform that you're on right now and type in Soul For Real. I'm sure you'll see me and my brothers go and stream any of all of our old music and our new music. Continue to show love for us. That's how we eat, and that's how we feed our families. We love y'all. We can't wait to show y'all more and let y'all hear more.
Wait, you're not going to get out of here that fast. Wait a minute. You said something about how we eat, and you touched on Naomi's. But are you getting Naomi's in Philly anytime soon?
Yes, actually. so we're actually we're concentrating on the West Coast, of course, because we're from New York. You know, I mean, you could get good Caribbean food probably anywhere. You know what I mean? A 2 to 3 mile radius, but in the areas that you can't, those are the areas that we really want to concentrate on, because the objective is to really give our people's food the better reputation that it's had, where you don't always want to be able to go to the hood to get the food. You want to go in reputable areas and get some Caribbean food, rice and peas and cabbage, stewed chicken, curry chicken, that. So you don't always want to go in sketchy areas. You want to be able to go to the mall or go to the airport and be able to indulge, just like Mexican food or Italian food. All these places, all these different countries, their food has been commercialized and readily available for everyone. And that's what my mission and my brother's mission is with Naomi's, so that y'all can get your Caribbean cuisine fixed everywhere, anywhere.
Okay,
anytime.
okay. And let's just talk about Slap real quick before you go.
Okay.
So tell everybody what that is and how it came about.
Well, the Slap Project, I mean, for a lot of people are going to know the
Slap boxing.
Yeah, the Slap Project.
I'm kidding.
No, it's really, it is like that, you know what I mean? Because that was the significant, the acronym stands for Successful Living After Prison. Of course, and that came to me when I was in prison, and I just seen the revolving door that is in the U.S. this the prison system, and I wanted to do something that I could contribute to, lessen that recidivism that we go through, our people. You understand? So just giving the opportunity for people that come out, with that, that F on your report card, and not having somebody to speak to, not having a place to work, or just even somebody to give you the advice on how to navigate and get acclimated back to society. That's what the Slap Project is, and that's what we stand on, just making sure that people coming back to society can condition themselves and be able to be functioning in society, and not think that they have to go back and to the things that got them knocked off in the first place.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your work you do, and thank you guys for your contribution to R&B. We love you guys. And everybody, if you missed their episode of Unsung, please go check it out. You won't be disappointed. Don't wait for the movie, but when the movie comes out, we're all here for it. Don't forget to check out their latest single, After the Rain. Thank you so much, Soul For Real, and thank you guys for tuning in to thisisrnb.com.
Right. Peace.